Hey, this is Honest Thoughts on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Vicente, November 22nd, UFC 244. Uh, I think this is going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great fight that I'm going to enjoy watching, but overall, this might be a boring fight. Uh, they're both strikers for the most part. Vicente looks like he has some really good jiu-jitsu. I haven't seen him take anybody guys down. I haven't seen him take anyone down. Maybe I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen all of his fights. I know a lot more about Wonderboy and the people Wonderboy has fought. But I think people are going to be a little disappointed because Vicente has this great knockout highlight reel on Facebook right now, right before the fight. It's October 22nd, 23rd right now, something like that. And he's not really the guy that's going to go in there to knock you out. He's pretty conservative overall. He's got a kind of forward-moving, stalking style, and he likes to touch you with the hands, and he's clean, crisp, accurate, but he closes at distance pretty close, like well past kicking range, into, true boxing range, and he makes guys exchange with him. Well, I mean, in boxing, you kind of have an advantage when the other guy goes first, because there's only so many punches you can throw in boxing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty much it, and then variations of that. So if you can feint and make another guy go first, and then be shorter, sharper, and more accurate, you can catch them in between punches. And this is just even more exaggerated MMA. And that's where 90% of his, at least the 5 knockouts that he had on the highlight reel, that's where they all come from. He's just accurate. He walks him down, throws like little short kicks, to thighs and knees and things. Occasional head kick. He never puts any mustard on his kicks. And he forces a boxing match, and then he just stays conservative, straight punches, and he catches guys. Now, with that being said, he's a skillful guy. He's a guy that relies on his skills, but he's matched up with Wonderboy, who not only has a weird skill set, he's got a huge arsenal of striking. And he's about as close to a pure striker as you're going to get. I'm not saying he doesn't know wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and grappling, and the tie clinch, and everything else you need to know. But that's not plan A for Wonderboy. And Wonderboy generally sticks to plan A. That's his thing. And I think the range is going to give Vicente a huge issue. The Wonderboy's length on top of the range that he fights at, he has that weird karate style that you just don't see. In fact, you guys should check out Wonderboy's YouTube page and his breakdowns and everything, and his personality is just great. I love his channel. Go check that out when you're done with this, or right now, whatever. But I'm not going as far as say Wonderboy has this in the bag. This might be a decision, because to an extent, they're both counterpunchers. And when you have two guys waiting on each other, you tend to have what a lot of people see as a boring match. Vicente is probably going to be the aggressor. A lot of the action is probably going to be in the center of the ring, or Vicente is slowly pushing Wonderboy backwards. Now, the big difference between the game between these two is not only does Wonderboy throw a ton of kicks and have a huge arsenal of kicks, he moves a lot, like a lot, and he makes you follow him. And I've seen Vicente follow guys and not intentionally and intelligently cut them off and pressure them. He's just kind of following them and just slowly closing that distance. I just think Wonderboy is way better at distance management than probably anybody Vicente has ever fought, and definitely better than Vicente himself. You know, Vicente manages one distance, that real close boxing range. You know, that's his preferred range. That's where he has his knockouts. That's where he does the most work. You know, it's where he hurts guys. But aside from that, he's barely a threat. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy, but I haven't seen him hurt anybody past that range. You know, same thing with Luke Perry. One of the reasons I think it's hard to tell with grappling, you know, the level of, because, you know, you don't have a microscope when they're fighting to see their technique, but when Luke Perry put Vicente up against the cage, one, he did a, you know, he's an ice cold fighter. He keeps his composure, you know, kept Luke Perry from doing what he wanted, and eventually Luke Perry got tired of just holding him against the cage and not able to advance the position and broke off. And then after that, it looked like just Luke Perry just wasn't willing to grapple or clinch or engage with him, you know, and then he forced a boxing match. And that seems like the game plan in almost every single fight. And I don't think that one dimension is going to be enough for Wonderboy. Especially if you go back and watch the Till fight with Wonderboy, and, you know, between Till and Woodley, fighting guys with all these crazy physical advantages, and then you see also the crazy highlight reel of Wonderboy's knockouts, you know, on sneaky shit. Like, I think it's weird, what's it called, a hook kick, and just weird kicks that, you know, you don't learn in Muay Thai. And he does that little thing where he throws the 1-2 and brings the roundhouse right behind his right hand. Kind of the way Whitaker does it, but he sets it up in a different way. And it's also a different way than Adesanya does it. All three of them do like a variation of that with a different tempo. But Wonderboy is probably the most dangerous because of how fast that roundhouse is right behind the right hand. And that's kind of perfect to use against a guy that has short type boxing that's looking to put a straight punch right down the pipe after a missed or parried jab or cross. You know, and just totally not see that kick. The more I talk about it, I was thinking it's going to be way more even of a fight, because I think there's going to be a low activity and a lot of feints and a lot of feeling out and a lot of short, accurate punches or strikes, and less. There's not going to be a whole lot of wildness. There's not going to be a lot of exchanges. And it's probably going to make for a slow fight, but the more I say this in my head and like the more tools I think for Wonderboy all but has this in the bag. Which I hope he gets a win. Not that I don't like Vicente, but he's had 3 losses in a row. Woodley twice and Till. You know, and you can make a lot of arguments for Wonderboy in that Till fight. I think he actually connected more times, but I know damage matters way more in the judging for UFC. And clearly, Wonderboy got dropped in the 4th round, you know, so it's a clear Till victory. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how this fight turns out. Oh, I forgot about the Pettis fight. He lost. Yeah, he got knocked on the Pettis fight. Yeah, this is kind of a do or die situation for Wonderboy. I didn't even realize. Yeah, so, and 2 of them are expert strikers, and one of them is like one of the most powerful fucking guys in the UFC besides, I don't know, Ngannou. I can understand why you'd be a little bit gun shy. So we'll see if either of them come out with new tools, specifically Wonderboy, and how this fight's going to turn out. I'm excited to watch it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you think it's going to play out. I think either Wonderboy decision or KO in the middle of the 2nd round. All right.